Liquorland are proud partners of the Sash for another season of footy. Footy's back and Liquorland have all your drinks for when the siren calls. Another season is here, Mert. Have you head down to Liquorland yet?
I'll be heading straight there on my way home, Rob. I've got a very handy one right on the way home, so that's where I'm going tonight.
Fantastic. Pop into your local Liquorland today or shop online for all your favourites. Liquorland, from the land you love. Please drink responsibly. Let's start the show.
Yeah, sorry, I was just at lost thinking about Paco.
And she was like, is it because of the Bombers?
It's Conspiracy Corner every day from here till December.
I don't know how many times I'm going to apologise, but BZT was good.
He moves in mysterious ways.
Up the place.
It's Don's footy, baby.
Chances are missed at Moorabbin. Davey continues to charge for round one. Paddy's back, but not everyone's happy. And it's time for our season preview ahead of 2023. This is The Sash, definitely not the official podcast of the Essendon Football Club. I'm your host, Rob, here with you as always. And joining me at Castaway Studios is Ryan and Mert. Ryan, hello, mate.
Hey, Rob, how you going?
I'm good.
You put a bit of time into that preview.
Yeah, I did put a bit of time. I listened to a lot of you to find that clip.
Yeah. It's tough to get some good content out of me.
You should have.
I'm already done for this pod.
You should have heard the ones that didn't make it to air. There were some pretty bad ones. Merty, hello.
Hey, mate. How are you?
I'm not bad.
Good to see you again.
As always. Thoughts on the intro?
Yeah, didn't mind it. Yeah, Paddy Ryder, though. Boo.
Not happy.
You're not happy?
No.
Not happy.
Never happy, but yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. On today's show, of course, we'll be previewing season 2023. You're also going to listen to our chat with Nic Martin. If you're not a premium listener, this is firstly available to you now. Mert and I had the pleasure of going down to the hangar was it Wednesday or Thursday?
It's Wednesday, mate.
Wednesday.
Yep.
Wednesday last week. Had the pleasure of going down. Very nice of the club to welcome us in there. I was half expecting an ambush where they'd kidnap me and Mert and we'd disappear forever, but it was nice to be invited and it was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. He's, softly spoken, nice kid.
He's a lot taller than I thought
He's
he'd be.
huge.
Yeah.
He's a
Really?
monster. Yeah, he's like towers over me. So
You're kidding.
He's at least, he's probably 6'4", 6'5", I reckon.
Wow.
Yeah. He's very, very tall. Peter Wright walked past us in the distance whilst we were coming in, and I think I heard Mert's jaw hit the floor.
Yeah. He actually looks like a dinosaur. He's that big. He was getting a rub down when we walked in. I was like, oh my God. Like, he looks like one of those long neck.
Yeah.
Like, he's...
Brachiosaurus or whatever it is.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Brontosaurus or something. God, he's massive.
Let's get him on for the next pod.
I'd love to. So Nic Martin chat, end of the pod, of course, and we'll jump into what is... there's plenty on the agenda. We'll gloss over the practice match. I don't think anyone really wants to talk too much about it, but we can just gloss on it briefly. And then there's obviously Paddy Ryder and then our full season preview. Quickly on the practice match.
Have we still got that We're Shit recording from last year?
I haven't.
It's going to come in handy a lot this year.
I haven't got it on hand, but I can make sure I prep it for Derek, who's sitting in the control booth, to make sure that we've got it. Just
I think we prep.
Can we? Maybe we'll get a button that all of us can just have at any point. You just quickly press it, and then we have the We're Shit bloke.
Yeah.
Because after the practice match on Friday, we definitely were.
It was pretty woeful. Even like the first quarter, we had the advantage with the wind and we just didn't execute. And then the next few quarters were identical, but St Kilda were able to, kick goals and we weren't.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder what would have happened if we had got that early lead, put the pressure on, having taken advantage of the wind. Obviously, we won't know because we didn't do it. Was it that bad? I'm not quite sure. There were a few pros for me. I thought our forward pressure was quite good. We had 17 tackles inside forward 50, which is pretty good for us.
That's really good for us, I think.
Yeah, so that was one thing I was like, all right, this is something we can build on, and I think that's a positive. And in another day, maybe Peter Wright doesn't kick 4 points. Maybe Nic Martin doesn't miss everything. Maybe Archie Perkins isn't spraying them out.
Do we want another positive?
Sure.
Or do you want to stay dark?
I've got a positive as well.
Well,
okay. I've got one.
It was at their training ground. So the St Kilda players, they're used to that wind. They know the ins and the outs. They know how to kick for goal against the wind and with the wind. So I think that probably played to their advantage, and I'm going to run with that until we lose to Hawthorn, and then downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we know, we love it under the roof. So that's our preferred conditions. What's your positive?
I thought Setterfield was excellent. He was easily our best for mine. So, and I think we've always been talking about that inside mid kind of role, and I think he's certainly that, but he's also, the kind of size body who actually does a bit of blocking and, can kind of affect a bit of running around the contest. And I think he played really well.
I also think Sam Wiedemann, aka Chufta, had a really good game up the field with his contested marking.
Did take some good grabs.
Some really good grabs.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can see a little bit more of that throughout the year.
And I think he's just important because we need a foil for Peter Wright.
Yeah, definitely.
There's obviously big questions marks around Jonesy, as we know, but it's nice having another big target there so Peter's not 3-on-1, 4-on-1. I feel like there were times last year it was 5-on-1 and we were still kicking it to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Back to Setterfield real quickly. I think the midfield mix is again going to be interesting this year. There was a few times where, two players went for the same ball and then somehow neither of them picked it up, which we saw constantly last season. Hopefully that's just a bit of, early season jitters and we won't see that. But yeah, I am interested to see how that dynamic works with Setterfield. If he's starting in the guts, I feel like he's probably going to be starting every week going on what we've seen for this sample size. So, yeah.
Nic Martin has some interesting insight into him as well and to what he's added. So, listeners will be able to hear that later on.
Yep. Well said. Let's talk to the news of the day. Big surprise to me, honestly. I did not expect to see this coming, and I don't think a lot of people did, unless you're on the inside. So, Paddy Ryder has been appointed the new Indigenous Player Development Manager. Essentially, the role is to help Indigenous players, 1 to 30 players, are part of the Jack Jones Academy. Pros and cons. I think there are definitely pros as far as what he could potentially bring as a leader, but I think there's a lot of cons around the bad blood that sort of happened when he left Essendon, and then even times where we tried to get him to come back and he said no. And I think there are a lot of supporters who are pretty, I'm not sure if filthy is the right word, but they're not happy about it. What do you think?
Look, I'm fine with it. There's so much bad blood in the AFL, but a week's a long time sometimes, and it's been years. And I think it's a really important role that he's actually moved into, especially with the amount of young Indigenous players we have with the Davey twins and Mankara as well. I mean, he's known the Davey twins since they were basically born, and I think that's going to hold really good stead for the both of them, and building that strength for our young Indigenous players coming through the ranks.
Yeah, I think it is an important role. In all seriousness, I think, I actually love what the club's doing in this space. I love that we've appointed Dean Rioli to the board as well, and we've got that. We're trying to be active and actually supporting, like you say, Damo, supporting those kids. And often it's not the case. And I think we've lost players in the past because we haven't been as supportive as we could have been. And I think, like, you look at Dreamtime the last few years and you look at what Richmond have done, even from, a theatrical kind of perspective at the start of games. And it just kills me as an Essendon supporter seeing Richmond do these things and really supporting and promoting their Indigenous players as much as they can. And yet we seem to have just, gone from a position where under Sheeds were obviously, huge in that. And we just seem to have lost that. So it'd be great if we could, be more supportive of those players and kind of bring it back to what it used to be, I think.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I like it.
Are you upset at all about, previous comments that he's made or managers of his have made or even just the way that things have...
I am, because I think it was... I was of the view at the time that he's probably been manipulated a lot. There was pressure placed on him and, again, probably not enough support given to him. Obviously I thought he made the wrong call and I thought he really, he dogged us in the situation as well, because we didn't end up really getting anything back from him.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, at some stage you kind of got to let bygones be bygones and, I guess move on. So I'm surprised it's happened, but, yeah, that's where it is. And, if it means that we've got a great leader in the Indigenous community back at our club and leading those kids, then I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah, I think one of the big pros as well is having been a player who's been around the league. I think you learn a lot by going to several clubs. Like he's been to Port Adelaide, who were reasonably successful. Obviously, they didn't win any silverware, but they were pretty good. He was at St Kilda, where they flirted with being good for periods, and I think you do pick up things without just being a one club player, so I think that's something to add to his bow.
I think as well his ruck craft is really incredible. Like some of the stuff he did for the Saints in finals and in big games was just huge. He was incredible.
The Robbie Gray
The
one.
Robbie Gray
oh
one.
my god,
Yeah.
That one was the best.
that is if he can teach Draper how to do that with some of our boys, that'd be pretty handy.
Surely he goes out and does a little bit of ruck coaching
Maybe.
during the week.
Maybe, who knows? And I guess the other thing as well is that the people who are at Essendon now aren't the same people who were there 3 years ago, or even 10 years ago. So, like, this is a quote from him from a couple of years ago when he chose to go to St Kilda. I guess I was over here last week and I've been back and forth a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, I was leaning towards Essendon and then I went back the other way. And I guess the thing is that stuck with me. I went back into the club the other week. I went through there and wanted to see what it felt like. And I just didn't get a good feeling when I went back. That was a few years ago. None of those people are still there. And we've had people who've left because of those people. Tim Moody retired and now he's back. So there was clearly some issues with some former people who were there at the club for whatever reason. They're not there now. New management and hierarchy have brought them in. I know there are some people who feel like, jobs for the boys and all that stuff, but I don't think it's that. And look, I think in the long run, the positives will outweigh the negatives. Yeah, it's a little bit sour to begin with because we're like, we do remember what happened.
Yeah.
But, that was a pretty dark time for the club and, a lot of things were done wrong by the club and by other people as well. So hopefully we can move past it and Paddy can help guide these young boys to being, future premiership players for the footy club.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, fingers crossed. Let's jump into the season preview, boys. That's what we're here to do. That's the main reason. So what I've done is I've put together some little lines here that you can read. There's blanks. Fill in the blank and we'll have a discussion. Would either of you like to go first, or do you want me to kick us off?
Yep.
I'm ready. I've written down an answer for all of them already.
You've written down an answer for all of them. I
definitely haven't.
Okay. You seem like you're the most prepared. Start us off with the first one.
It's a big year for Andy McGrath.
Big year for Andy McGrath. Why is it a big year for Andy McGrath?
Huge step for him. Obviously, he came into the league and was really influential in that back half. We tried to move him into the midfield. He's really struggled. He's now a vice captain of the football club.
Yep.
I think he needs to hit the ground running from round one, really show leadership, but lead by example in the position.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I know it's, can be a bit of fluff for some people, but I was looking at Robbo's top 50 and then a few of the other pages that do their top 50s. And a lot of them have Hugh McCluggage in the top 30, top 40 even. And this is the guy that, people compare him to and hasn't gone that way. He was,
And Taranto.
Then Taranto, like, obviously Taranto was a academy thing or whatever that was. But yeah, he you feel like this is the point of your career that you should be a player that's, considered at a high regard, not just in our football club, around the league.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people who write stuff about Ian McGrath, and it's like, I don't know what he is. Is he good? Is he not? Like, I'm not quite sure. Like, I feel like he has all the tools, but he just hasn't quite got them together and used them correctly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What I want to see from Andy McGrath this year is obviously the defensive side of the game, but I want to see Andy McGrath string with the ball and then hitting targets.
Breaking lines and hitting targets. That is his job. And pressure.
Not launching bloody snaps over his shoulder. I want to see him hitting targets because I know he can do it. Like, you don't go pick number one and not be able to do that. So, like, he's got it, but it's finding that in his game. And I agree. Big year.
I mean, I'd be really happy if he had quite a defensive year, and if he went back to that the first year that he played, when he played on Eddie Betts, and Eddie Betts was easily the best small forward in the game, and he kept him goalless. I'd be very content if Andy McGrath was happy to do, jobs on blokes and, maybe have, 15 or 20 every week, not 30 as a loose half back, but just focus on playing that defensive role and playing that team role. And I think that'd be a great thing for the team because we've got run back there as well. But, I guess we're yet to see it so far with Andy, but yeah, we hope he can get there. But I've got another one actually, Rob. I think it's a big year for Jordan Ridley.
Yep.
He obviously had a bit of a down year last year by his very lofty standards. So, I think he's probably under the pump a little bit. So we hope and probably expect that he does get back to.
I thought he was good in the pracky.
Saw some really good signs.
Took some good grabs.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's just going to be really testing on our back six this year because, we haven't done anything with a list in the last 5 years to really fix that problem.
Yeah.
It's a glaring problem. It was a problem from the time that we had Michael Hartley and we dropped Michael Hartley. So, I'd like to see...
Your favourite grudge.
Well, we knew Cale Hooker was retiring or was going to be moving to retirement 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And we did nothing.
Yeah.
So, I think there's questions over our list management yet again. But, I hope Rids can just have a bit of a better year this year. And, if we can actually get Reedy on the park, then maybe things will be looking better in the next, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I think the other one who, it's a trickle-down effect is I think if BZT continues where he left off last year, has a strong year, it makes it better for Ridley. If he's taking actual key forwards and Laverty's taking the second and maybe even Kelly's taking that mid player, let Rids do what he's best at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except when he plays Aaron Norton because he always smashes Aaron Norton. It's like that's the one thing he's got. So let's keep him doing that. But otherwise, let him launch at it.
Yeah.
So that's what we need him to do.
Did you have anyone else for a big year?
Yeah, well, you stole my Andy McGrath one, but it's okay. I've got another one. I think it's a big year for Darcy Parish.
That was my backup.
Why? Because Darcy Parish is not signed for the Essendon Football Club in 2024.
There's going to be
so gone.
There's going to be a lot of noise all year.
Yeah.
He's going to Geelong.
I'd like him to stay. We know what he can do when he's absolutely at his best. And it would kill me to see him go. Although, I don't know how this stuff any works. I'm sure we get something good in return. If he's a free agent, we get a compo pick, don't we?
Yeah, free agent.
Yeah,
get nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope he stays. I think if he gets back to where he was 2 years ago, obviously he's going to be a very high profile target.
Yeah.
But again, he's another one of these guys that if the midfield mix works well, he plays his best footy. When Shield wasn't there, Parish played great. When Parish was injured, Shield played great. Zach played great in spurts. It's like, how can we actually get all these guys working?
I think it was also with Jai Caldwell playing in there at the same time, and they were playing very similar positions. And now we've got Setterfield in there, who's an in and under player. So
I think part of it as well, though, is that Jai is actually a defensive player too.
Yeah.
Shield actually showed that he was a defensive player last year as well. He was, at one stage racking up about 10 tackles a game. Parish and Merritt and not defensive at all. Well, they haven't been defensive in the certainly not last year. So they need to sort something out between themselves because they were really killing us the other way in the midfield. And I'm no doubt they were overcoached and a lot of players had no idea where to run. We saw that for a lot of, huge parts of last year. But I think Das needs to just work on that side of his game.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Who would like to take the next prompt?
Mert.
You go? I'll go the next after that.
Archie Perkins is going to go to another level this year.
Yeah, I like it.
Why do you think that?
He's just hot. And I love him.
The loosest man in Portsea is going to go to another level, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to get these extra minutes in the midfield. He's obviously built up the tank, and
is he?
We know he can.
Is he?
I think so.
Setterfield's there. Is he going to get it?
Yeah, well, there's going to...
They're playing different roles.
I know they're playing different roles, but...
There'll be 6 or 7 blokes rotating through, if not more.
Yeah.
7 or 8, so he'll definitely get a chance.
Plus, he hits the scoreboard as well.
I'm not sure if it's actually his best position or if wing's his best position at the moment, so we'll see. I think I'm not sure his working traffic has been as good as kind of what I've hoped it would have been, and he's also so good overhead. I feel like he could be used kind of on the outside a little bit, but... we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, he's just, again, just so fit. I think he had a slightly interrupted preseason, but again, he's, pulling really good numbers in time trials and those kinds of things. So he's just, I think, a really impressive young guy, and he's got a bit of confidence about him, which is just so vital.
8 centre bounce attendances for him. So yeah, he's definitely featuring. For me, Nic Martin will go to another level.
Going to say,
Well,
yeah.
you've stolen mine now.
Has nothing to do with the fact that we spoke with him last week, but you could see it again in the practice match. Like he was, apart from when he was kicking it at goal, he was one of the guys who was very smooth. All the stuff we've come to know. Great by foot, great overhead, just clean.
He just knows where to be, where to go.
Yeah.
He uses it well. His decision making, you just can't teach that.
Yeah, I think he could become he already has been a weapon for us, but playing hopefully in a better system, I think he could become a real point of difference.
I think, again, kind of back to that pre-season point that I said with Archie, and this is kind of, it's what I look for in players at this stage of the season, pre-season.
It's rig.
It's just that fitness, and players, if they set themselves up well enough in the pre-season, then world's their oyster.
Yep.
So they can really push on, and we know that Martin finished first in the time trial, coming straight back. So it's pretty impressive for a guy who hasn't typically been that fit. It was never his thing in draft year or anything like that. In fact, it was a knock on him. So he's clearly got the work ethic, and he's put a lot of time and effort into it. So we know he's got that kind of talent. We know he uses the ball well. We know he moves really well in traffic, but it's good to see that he's put the work in as well this year.
Did he win the time trial?
Yep.
Huh.
Then
Shield.
Then Perkins. Or,
I think so. Or Snelling, maybe.
Yeah, Snell's normally up there.
This thing says that Mason Redmond won it. Am I looking at an old
No, it might have
article?
been the later one.
The later one. Oh, well, anyway.
My backup
Yep.
is Big Sammy Draper.
Yeah, I like that. Why?
He'll go to another level. Why?
Why?
Because
Just cause?
he was already putting his name down as a top ruckman. I think he's going to be more influential. His tap work would have increased. His strength.
He looks
He
bigger.
looks
He's
fit.
massive.
I saw him
He's really fit.
I saw him at Gold Coast Airport after the preseason game a week ago. He's huge.
Yeah.
You can tell me that.
Yeah, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, he he won the hitouts against Marshall, but Marshall definitely got him around the ground, which I think was obviously a symptom of the game as well, as much as it was Sam. But yeah, he's poised to be the next crop of really good ruckmen.
I think he's going to impact the scoreboard as well a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
I'd like
Let's hope
that.
so.
I like that. Next one. I'm worried about Nick Hind. He wasn't in the starting squad in the practice match on the weekend. Massimo was chosen.
Mass played pretty well.
Yeah, and I like Mass. I like Mass a lot. I am concerned for him that he may spend more time in the VFL this season. Potentially, are we having a sub again this year? Have they changed the rules?
There's a fifth player that's on there for like a full-time sub, not only just injuries.
Right.
So it's like the green and red vest now.
Right. Okay.
Back to what it was
Anyway,
6 years ago.
whatever. He might spend some time doing that. But yeah, I don't know. I just have concerns that he didn't have the greatest form end of last year, and that he might see himself squeezed out of the team. I hope not.
Look, it doesn't worry me, actually.
Okay.
I think we've got a fair few players in that position, and I think having people fighting for that position, it's healthy.
Okay.
And I'd like
it's
Massimo
good.
to be playing over him too, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You're allowed to think.
Not that we don't like Hindy.
No, of course
Love
not.
Hindy.
Mass has
But I
such
think
a
it's-
beautiful kick on him. Though.
He does.
Mm.
He does.
That left.
He does. Next one. Who wants to go?
I'm worried about our inside 50s. I haven't gone for a player. I've just gone really broad.
No, I like this. I like
Because the inside 50s haven't been good for 10 years. They weren't good on the weekend. It's just, it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, just watch a game and like, we're just kicking it to Tipper in a pack again. It's
That's why we brought him back.
I did. There was at one point.
He actually marked one of them.
Yeah, but there was one point in that practice match where because I think that ground, Marin's obviously a bit smaller, but he was in the goal square, which probably is 50 metres out or something. Not the goal square, sorry, the centre square. And they kicked it to him, and I can't remember which St Kilda defender was. They came over the top and punched it, and I just burst out laughing. And I'm like, nothing's changed.
Yeah. Well, now we've also got Alwyn Davey back on our list, so he'll be our centre forward. For
Yeah,
this year.
exactly.
Jeez, he looked good though. He
does look
even
good.
took
He
a
does look
contested mark. He looks great.
Yeah, definitely round one. Who are you worried about, Mert?
I'm
Or what are you
worried
worried
about so many things. It's scary.
Inflation, me too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, interest rates, big time.
Yep,
Yeah.
same.
RBA, if you're listening.
I'm worried about our defence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Worried about Nick Cox.
Yes, that's a good one.
Keep going.
I think you need to throw him and Reid into that
No,
pile.
this sounds like therapy. Keep going.
Worried about Sam Durham.
Why are you worried about Sam Duzza?
No, I'm not worried about Does.
No?
Worried about Jonesy.
Nick.
Nick Bryan.
Why are you worried
I'm
about
really
Nick
worried about Caney. I'm worried about Caney.
Why? I think he's found a place as fullback.
No, Caney's a centre forward, mate. Worried about
Keep going.
Jake Kelly, Zach Reid, big time.
I'm worried about Jake Kelly as well.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Reedy more just because he can't get on the field. That's
Worried
my
about
concern.
Guelphy. I
Okay.
don't think he's best 22.
You don't think he's best 22 at the moment?
No.
What, do you reckon like Alwyn and Menzies have taken his spot?
Yep.
Wow.
Jeez, you're going bang. Keep going.
Wow. What else are you worried
I'm
about?
very worried about Sian McBride.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever said that. Worried about Tex.
Why are you worried about Tex?
Tex is no.
He's playing. He's actually playing football for once.
Yeah, he's all of a sudden. Worried about Langford.
What? I just heard he's
Injury
back.
wise.
Yeah.
Yep. Worried about Sartis. Worried about Parrish. Worried about Caldwell. Fuck it. Worried about Merritt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mert, worried about everything. Worried about my wedding. What else are you worried
What
about?
aren't you worried about?
Not worried about the wedding at all.
Oh,
Actually.
good. Good.
Happy days.
Good. Is Nic Martin the ring bearer?
No, I'll be asking Paco.
Oh, beautiful. We'll go to the next one because as we know, Mert is worried about.
I'm worried about Paco, actually.
Yeah. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I didn't want to say that one.
That's what I thought you were going to say to begin with.
I want to say.
Yeah, I think we are worried about Paco. All right, next one. The one thing I want to see from Essendon this season.
Beating Carlton.
We'll get to that. For me, I just want to see a defence that doesn't give up cheap goals. I want to feel like if teams are scoring on us, they've had to earn it. Like, I'm comfortable this season with us losing games if I felt like we actually were there till the end and not see 30 plus, 40 plus defeats where it's just been junk goals to the opposition.
And can we add to that giving away easy free kicks in our defensive 50?
Yeah.
Feel like we're horrible at that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think our defense is one of the most concerning things, especially
Yeah.
in the key position spot. What?
But also just the collective,
good one.
but also just the collective defense. I think is the broader issue. Like
Yeah.
obviously, there's always going to be times where key defenders are one-on-one with key forwards, but just the collective, opposition streaming through the midfield
Yeah,
while
and
everyone is just standing there going,
And our
"Oh, look, there it
midfield,
goes."
yeah, no defensive mid. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty concerning.
That's the one thing I want to see from this season.
I want to see 4 quarters of football.
Ooh, good luck.
I'm sick of going to the games and only getting like a quarter and a half.
It'd be nice.
Just 4 quarters of footy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
all.
No, that's fair. That's
No.
fair. What do you got? There's grin on his face.
Oh.
What do you got?
I just want some competingness, as Paco would say. As Paco did say.
Competingness.
Yeah.
What's the Webster's definition for competingness, please?
Oh, ask Paco. No one knows.
No one knows. Okay.
I would actually love to see a bit of aggression at the contest especially under Brad Scott.
Yeah.
Like just arc up a bit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if Brad's put a highlight package together of, his rough antics.
Find out because we asked Nic Martin about it. So you
Oh,
can
there you
find
go.
out
Yeah.
later in the show. Another plug to the interview that's at the end of the program. Yeah, I know what you mean. I just
And
want to.
I'd like to see Paddy Voss be getting a few games as well,
Yeah.
so he can kind of do that.
Yeah.
If anyone saw the mark he took going back with the flight in the first pre-season game,
So good.
it's just about exactly what we need.
Shades of Jonathan Brown. Let's take a break, fellas. We've got more of our season preview after the break, but we've got to pay the bills, so we've got to appease the sponsors. Let's go to a break, and then we'll come back. This halftime break is brought to you by Liquorland. Footy is back, and Liquorland have all your drink needs for when the siren calls. This Thursday to Sunday, as we get ready for the season to kick off, Liquorland is offering $2 express delivery when you shop online. Delivery, Ryan.
Very handy, the $2 delivery. I think I'm going to have to go with a nice cold slab of Victoria Bitter. and maybe a bag of ice to keep the drinks cold as well.
Beautiful. Express delivery is available in Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Not available in all postcodes. View full T&Cs and the latest drink specials at liquorland.com.au. Liquorland, from the land you love. Please drink responsibly. Let's get back to it. Let's keep it going. Who took the last one? Did I take the last one?
I think
It's been so long since we were here with that break.
I think it
I feel
was
like I
you.
went for hours. But it was me. All right, you can go the next one.
Jai Menzies will be best 22 player come end of season.
Yeah.
I think he's just finds goals. He's always in the right spot when the ball hits the ground from a contest. I don't think any other teams would be able to figure him out yet as well. But he's obviously put in a huge pre-season, and he's reaping the rewards so far. So I'm really keen to see what he can do in an AFL game.
I like it. What about you, Mert?
Nick Cox.
Nick Cox will be best 22 in the season.
Yeah.
Really?
You just said that
You're worried about it.
I'm worried about him.
you're worried about how good he's going to be.
I think, no,
Where's he going to play?
This excites me.
centre half back.
Keep going.
Centre half back.
Maybe not centre half back, but he'd be either centre half back or half back flank, floating kind of half back flank.
If let's say he's half back flank floating, who's out of the team to fit him in?
Oh, don't ask me tough questions. Half the team will be injured.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a fair response.
We're not going to have a team by then. So
Everyone's going to be. Everyone's going to be.
it'd be good to see Reedy and Nick Cox,
play some footy.
Yeah.
because Reedy was another one who actually came back and was very fit, and then he broke down again, obviously. So yeah, he can run.
Definitely can run. Mine, and I mean, he already seems like he's almost there, but Alwyn Davies is going to be best 22 come into the season.
He looks so good.
If he's not playing round one, he's going to be playing very, very early on in the season.
He's playing
definitely
round one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kicking the first goal.
He looks class.
Yeah.
Absolute class.
Can't wait for his brother to get going.
That'd be great. Let's have two of them. That'd be awesome. That'll be awesome. Mert, next one.
Brad Scott's biggest challenge will be, I don't know, this is tough.
This was a
Should have
tough
done
one
some
for me.
preparation.
I went with Brad Scott's biggest challenge will be refraining from putting a hole in the coaching box wall. That's all I could think of. Or belting a player.
Yeah. Was he a phone smasher at North? I can't remember.
He was a phone smasher.
He was a phone smasher?
I want to see some phones get smashed.
When was the last time you saw an Essendon coach actually get angry? I think
Sheedy.
it's been a while. I reckon Bomber probably did.
Oh,
No, Bomber never got angry.
Didn't he?
Matthew Knights.
Bomber was like
Matthew
just
Knights
had
was
his
He was
shardy little twitch going.
Matthew Knights had a bit of anger, but didn't get much from Hurdy. Got absolutely
Hurdy never.
nothing from Worsfold. He was sedated the whole 3 years.
Yeah. The angriest he got was the week before he left the club. And that's when he just went out all guns blazing.
And Truck was just such a nice guy.
Yeah. He was a bit too
Pathetically nice.
He was a bit too stoic, old Brad.
So-
Ben, sorry.
Show us some anger, Brad.
Want to see some anger.
Yeah.
Brad Scott's biggest challenge, and it goes back to the conversation I had earlier, will be figuring out our midfield balance. That is
It's a good one.
that is the conundrum for me. That is the jigsaw puzzle that needs to be put together right.
I reckon he's going to have trouble keeping the Rat Pack in on a Saturday night.
Ooh. Who's in this Rat Pack?
Drapes, Guelphy. I don't know. There's a few of them these
Dylan
days.
Clark's still roaming around.
Yeah. I think Nick Cox is in it.
Yeah, Coxie's definitely in it.
Yeah, Coxie's in it. Archie's in it.
Yeah.
I think Jai's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few. I think Nick Bryan's in it.
Yeah,
Does
seems about right.
Does her?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
he's there.
Maybe.
He's thereabouts.
He's there. Keeping the Rat Pack in.
Mert's
Yeah.
there as well.
Mert's
Oh,
there.
yeah, I'm following him.
Watching from the bushes. Wishes he was there.
That's it.
The game you are most looking forward to, I think the game I would say Dream Time I'm looking forward to. It's on my birthday this year. It'd be nice to win. It'd be good. It'd be special. It's been a while, so I'm looking forward to it.
Your birthday's going to suck.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to cry on my birthday, like I do every year.
Again.
Again.
Again. What about you?
Anzac Day for me. I love Anzac Day and just beating those filthy pies. Just that whole football club gets me up and about.
We owe them for last year. We really do.
Yeah.
We do owe them one.
Yeah, I'm sick of losing to him.
Yeah. What game are you looking forward to the most?
Anzac Day as well. I'm just quietly dreading round one, to be honest. So
Really?
Yeah, dreading it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous as well. Hawthorn kind of looked all right.
No.
They got the worst list I've ever seen.
That's so bad.
That's why they're going to beat us.
I only know like 6 of them.
No.
Yeah.
I had a good chat with a friend who supports Hawthorn recently, and he told me that they want the spoon. Like he said, we actually want it. There's some.
We want the spoon.
Yeah.
So they can get
Harley Reid.
Yeah.
I want Harley Reid.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Apparently,
That's our spoon.
that's it. There you go. If we lose round 1, we could be in the hunt. But I think we're going to beat them. Ryan.
Game you're least looking forward to, Rob?
Yeah. I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the fact that we played Geelong like 4 days after Anzac Day. I reckon we're going to get absolutely belted.
That's a stitch up.
We're going to get absolutely murdered.
How does that work?
I don't know. It's because like we have like a 10-day break to Anzac Day or something like that, and then it's like a really short turnaround.
Andrew Demetrio must be back. He's just
Yeah.
trying to hurt us.
Yeah, so put us down for an absolute hiding, that one, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm kind of least looking forward to the Carlton one because I'm sick of losing to them.
And
I have that many Carlton mates.
They look all right. I hate saying it, but they look okay.
I have so many Carlton mates, and just you would have thought they've won the last 5 flags. To be honest, it's doing my head in.
Yeah, it's amazing how much noise a club that's finished 9th, 11th, and 12th in the last 3 years can make.
I think they've already sent out an email to their members to book a
Finals ticket.
grand final eve
Grand final.
sit down like dinner lunch.
The President's Luncheon.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Sunday night, that one. 7 o'clock Sunday night at the G.
They always do that.
Do they?
We've played them Sunday the last 3 years.
No, but it's night.
No,
not
Sunday
no.
night.
Sunday
Oh,
night.
wow.
Not
How is
after.
it?
I
No,
blanked out.
it's Eve.
It's a public holiday the next day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fullest ever.
It's Queen. I think it's the Queen's birthday or
Yeah.
King's birthday.
Fullest
Yeah,
ever.
Oh.
fullest ever.
I rate
As
it then.
As Kingo would say, that is a jug each before the game. Just everyone walking around with jugs.
How good
Kingo's birthday match.
is it? Oh, we'll get him
No,
in.
he's the king.
We'll get him in. Oh, of course.
Come on, Rob.
Mert,
What was yours?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Oh, the Hawthorn round 1.
Yeah, Hawthorn.
not looking forward to round 1. That's fair.
I'm really looking forward to any of them. Just
Not looking forward to it again. No, that's fair. The biggest riser in the AFL this season will be
I'm still backing us in.
really.
Fuck it.
You never learn. You're so dumb. This is what we said last year.
We finished.
Fuck.
We finished 15th. I in our other season preview,
Yep,
which was
the one we did 3 weeks ago.
yeah, I had us finishing 9th.
Yeah. Have you upgraded that?
6? Nah. I'm thinking like 11.
11. So we're going to rise to 11th
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the biggest riser in the league.
I've got faith in the boys.
Yeah.
You know, preseason game means nothing. Carlton won the bloody Wizard Cup a few years ago, and they got the spoon.
Yeah, 20 years
So-
ago. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Maybe I reckon Brad's maybe hiding a little something.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Just said go out, do Truck's game plan, and we'll get back to it in round 1.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Maybe if they're just hiding Paco, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
And like he's not actually injured at all. He's
Yeah.
just been flying.
Practically flying, as they say.
Practically flying somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's been flying around the world himself.
Yeah. The reason they're looking to put an extra bit of tarmac at Melbourne Airport is actually Paco's airstrip. It's
flying.
so he can fly in and out where he needs to.
Love it.
Love that.
Biggest rise in the AFL, Matt?
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I actually think they got an okay list.
They finished 14th, so
Where are they gonna land from 14th?
Couldn't tell you, mate.
Just give us a number. Give us a number between 13 and 1.
Fifth.
5th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Straight up, mate.
Wow.
Not a good side.
Imagine that. My biggest riser is gonna be the Gold Coast.
Suns from
Yeah.
12th to where?
I'm gonna say 6th.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 6th.
They're going to win a final.
If they play us, yes. Yep. That's my prediction.
They won't
So
be playing us.
you've got them as a riser from 12, but if we're playing finals from 15, we'd be a high riser.
Yeah, but we lose the final though. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. The biggest slider in the AFL will be Mert.
Sydney.
I hope so. I really do hope so. That would be nice. That'd be nice.
Although they just look so good.
Yeah,
But
they'd look good in that practice match.
interesting things happen when teams lose grand finals by that much, though. It's very interesting history of that.
Yeah,
Is.
yeah. Because GWS were garbage the year after Richmond flopped them.
Yeah, like I think
like
like
everyone
4 out of the
has
last
lost
5
by
teams
a
that
lot and
lost
just,
by didn't make finals the next
make
year.
finals the year after. So
That would be lovely. Lovely. Good prediction. What about you?
I've got Collingwood and St Kilda. I think St Kilda.
Collingwood would be so good.
I think
Yeah.
no, but I think Collingwood would go from like 4 to 8.
Yeah.
But I think St Kilda will probably find themselves around, go from 10th to 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I think the Saints are similar to us, that if it goes really wrong, they could be a bottom 4 team. But
Yep.
also like us, I think they could just finish around 10 to 14.
Yep.
So,
They got
yeah.
line now.
yeah, I had Collingwood as well in mind. Like, you can't win that many close games.
Yeah, you can't.
Now you've got a harder draw because you finished top 4.
People have
I
got
just-
time to figure you out as
Yeah,
well.
like I know, like have they got McStay and Tom Mitchell? Like, yeah, nah. And like Pendlebury and Sidebottom aren't getting better. Like they're
Pendlebury's afraid.
he is.
He'll
Like,
somehow get better.
he's a champion of the game. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't feel like he's getting better with every year. Like I feel like
I think Dacos will go backwards. Nick.
yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah,
You-
I
So when
hope
his
so.
opposition teams actually start putting some work into him,
yeah.
Yeah.
which
Oh.
no one has.
Well, because he played loose man off half back.
We should just play Voss
Yeah.
on Anzac Day to just crush him.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Boys, we're going to wrap things up there and we're going to throw to our chat with Nic Martin that Mert and I had the other week. Any final thoughts from you before we wrap it up for this evening?
Nah, nothing from me. I am just really excited to have football back. I miss it.
Fair? Mert?
No, not a whole lot. Thanks, Rob.
Not many thoughts.
No, not really.
No, that's fair. Listeners, we'll be back Thursday week for our preview of round 1. So it's a long weekend coming up. There won't be a pod on Monday or Tuesday, but then Thursday we'll have our first preview of the season. I think I'll put that out to everyone just because it's the first preview of the year.
Yeah.
So that'll be there, and then we'll be back to a regular 2 shows a week once the season kicks off. We've got a new Paddy Ryder merch design, which you can see on the website now. Haven't promoted it yet, but the big 7-seater, I reckon it's looking pretty good, that one.
Looks good.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. And then our caps and beanies and stuff is meant to be, it's either next week or the week after is going to be here, but I think pre-orders I'm going to be able to put out later this week.
What about
which is pretty
the
sweet.
more important ththings that are going to keep my VBs cold?
Stubby holders?
Yep.
They can come too. Yeah.
Thank you.
They can come too.
That's good.
We'll also have some stubby holders. I think that's it for updates. Thanks as always to everyone for listening or for viewing. If you're there on YouTube, I'm looking at you. The creeps on YouTube you like to watch. Shout out to you all. Thanks everyone. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to premium listeners. That's it, I think. And here's Mert and I chatting with Nic Martin.
Up the plains.
Go Plains.
Go Dons.
Welcome, everybody. Special episode of The Sash here coming to you from the hangar at Tullamarine. Hello, Mert. Very excited.
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's fair to say this is the biggest one we've had since 2021 Dog of the Week, Dog of the Year, I reckon.
That's a big one. Very excited to welcome Nic Martin to The Sash. Hello, mate.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No dramas at all. Nick, new season just around the corner. How are you feeling? What's the mood in the change room at the moment?
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement going around. When pre-season finishes, you little jump in your step and games are around the corner, and it's always exciting running out, and got a good opportunity this week, practice match against the Saints to put some things into practice.
Nice one. I just want to pick you up a bit on your entrance to the AFL because it was a pretty whirlwind couple of months for you. You were at uni and then you were training and then a scratch match and then you're in and you get a Rising Star nomination round 1. Have you had time to reflect on that crazy period of ending up in the AFL?
Yeah, so I guess when the season sort of finishes, you have a bit of time to reflect, and but when you're sort of in it all happens really fast, and there's not too many moments where you can stop and think about the journey and what sort of happened. But sort of when the year finishes, you can take a moment and really appreciate how the season planned out and my personal goals.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Now, taking you back to round 1 of last year, obviously had an incredible performance yourself. At what point of that game did you realise you're our best player?
Yeah, never.
Yeah, probably after the 3rd or 4th or what?
Mate, when you're running around with Zach Merritt and he's just pulling pulling some kicks out, you soon realise he's probably the best player running around.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your first full pre-season? What are the positives you've had doing a full pre-season, and what are the challenges of all that work?
Yeah, it was nothing I'm sort of used to. Full AFL pre-season is pretty hectic and full on. Sort of gave myself a good opportunity when I was back in Perth to train and prepare myself best that I could for pre-season. I know it's going to be taxing and hard, and just prepared myself for that and try to put my best foot forward and showcase to Brad and the other coaches that it's all guns blazing 2023.
And how much of that work, like obviously you've come back really fit, before the proper pre-season has started, looks like you've stacked on a bit of muscle as well. How much of that happens in between, when the season finishes and then actually starting that pre-season?
Yeah, you got to find that balance because you can't sort of just jump straight back into it because you need that time to actually relax, recover. And for me personally, I went back to Perth and spent some time with friends and family before I got stuck into it. So you need that time to rejuvenate and sort of prepare yourself for a big pre-season because you can't come in and get overwhelmed as well. You got to find that balance, I found at least.
And you mentioned Brad Scott there. What's he been like? How's he different from other coaches you've had, whether it be at senior footy level or even in junior level?
Yeah, Brad's been good for the group. He's brought a new energy, and I think that's what new coaches do. They bring new energy and new ideas to the group, and there's real optimism around the philosophies Brad's bringing in. Yeah, a lot of excitement going in. Has
he instilled any non-negotiables for the team this year? Are there any things on the whiteboard that you have to do, otherwise you're not playing?
Not so much non-negotiables, but we have a real emphasis on that pressure and especially chase pressure and bringing that in 2023, and it will really set us up.
So do you think that pressure game and that defensive kind of side of the game is the real focus in Brad's tactics and game plan?
Well, I think there's a bit of both. You got to work on your defense, which we have been, and also work on a bit of offense as well because they work hand in hand. If you set up defensively, it will help kickstart our offense.
Yeah. And so based on that, do you have kind of an inclination as to where you'll be playing predominantly this year? Will it be, you float forward a bit, you've played a bit on the wing, bit through the midfield. What's kind of your position this year?
Yeah, you got to sort of keep an open mind personally about what position I'll be playing. Hopefully, up forward, bit of wing. I do like the versatility that I got to roll through multiple positions and sort of just keep an open mind, and whatever the team needs, I'm happy to do that.
Has Brad got any videos out of his playing days just to show you how he went about it?
Nah, not yet. From all reports, he was pretty hard at it, so
yes.
Keen to see a couple of videos of Brad in his heyday.
Yeah, you can pick him up on what he did to us when he the 2001 grand final, but we'll gloss over that one. Other big change, of course, is the new captaincy. Quickly, what's Dyson Heppel's effect been on you? You're obviously the new kid last year. Talk us about Dyson.
Yeah, Dyson's been massive for my development, especially when he's been playing on a wing. Last year, I think it was sort of his first year on the wing, and it's good we sort of learnt together a bit, that wing, and he's been massive on me and Sam Durham in particular, just telling us sort of his experiences, watching Vision with him, and he's been massive for me, and can't be more grateful that Dyson's been around.
Yeah, and what about Zachy? What sort of leader is he? How's he different to Dyson?
Yeah, I guess the two are a bit different, but they've just got a wealth of knowledge of the game, and Zach in particular is very knowledgeable in the game, and when you need advice on how you're rolling, yeah, Zach's good, but Dicey's still there, and they're both sound ears to talk to.
And who else within the side has kind of had an immediate impact on you in your first kind of year or so at the club?
A big one's been Kyle Langford for me. Very similar positions, and I think he was majority injured last year. He came in for a couple games late, and he was always helpful watching Vision with me after training, and sort of similar roles and showing a couple of tricks he had.
Yeah.
Do you have any personal goals this year that you'd like to achieve?
I haven't put too much thought into the personal goals yet. I think just trying to play my role for the team and whatever that may be, and keeping an open mind, whether that's wing, forward, and just trying to get some wins on the board, I think. Yeah. That's probably the main one.
I think that's what we all want. I think that's definitely what we all want.
So there's obviously a few new faces down at the club this year. Who's impressed you the most on the training track of those new guys?
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with Will Setterfield. Obviously, I got a closer look with him, being with the midfield, and just his craft and his knowledge around stoppages has been second to none, really. And just trying to learn off that and try to bring that into my game a bit as well. And he's been really helpful, teaching me a couple of tricks. And I've been really impressed with Will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even the new draftees, which are of the very young guys, the ones who are actually younger than you. What do you think about them?
Yeah. Alan's really impressed me. He's obviously come in. He played last week in the practice match early. And
he looks so good.
Yeah, he looks exciting. A lot of energy and electrifying down there with Anthony as well as back, which is good. And Alan's been really impressive.
He's a talent, just like the old man. You mentioned Kyle being an effect on you, but who are your mates around the club? Who are the guys that you're really close with? Who are the boys?
Yeah, so I live with Zach Reid and Alistair Law, so we've got a nice little house and play a bit of PlayStation with the boys, and I'm pretty close with those two.
Lovely. Now we'll move from some serious stuff to some more lighthearted stuff, but this is a very important question for me. You're a young man. All young men have a group chat with the boys. So what I want to know, Nick, what's the name of the group chat, if you can disclose that? Who's the most prolific in the group chat? And then who's the lurker who never speaks but looks at everything?
Well, all right, I've got two group chats. So one with obviously my housemates, and the name of that group chat is the street we live on. So I can't really disclose that one.
Okay,
but
you don't want to do that.
The group chat with the boys just from back home. I went to school with.
Yeah,
the name's Blair.
Yeah.
The story's just so weird and unique, but I think it was just we were out one night and we just met this random bloke named Blair and just started talking to him, and then that's how the group chat was named, and just Blair.
Shout out to Blair if you're listening at home, and who are the prolific on the local on the group chat with the housemates? Is Zachy or Alistair? Who's the chatty one?
I'd probably go Alistair. Yeah. Me and him sort of got a unique bond. We like to play PJ golf.
Oh, nice.
Just on the PlayStation.
Nice.
Play a round of 18 when we get home, and he's always up for it, and he messages the group chat, and usually it's me who replies, but Zach hasn't got the invite yet, but it's out there.
Zachy. Come on, Zach. Do you like your actual golf as well, or just on the PlayStation?
Yeah, absolutely. Love my actual golf and play a lot when I'm back home, but yet to get clubs here, which is a bit disappointing, but I think they're on the way.
Sponsors, if you're listening, there's a man who needs a set of clubs, so surely someone's listening who'd like to tee up.
Yeah, TaylorMade if they're listening.
TaylorMade. Yeah, let's get it
ideally
done. Let's get it done. Let's move into some rapid fire before we wrap up. You've got a short period of time with us, so we're flying through this. Merty, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So MTG or Marvel?
Marvel.
Kick it long or switch it?
Switch it.
Set shot or on the run?
Set shot.
Beating Hawthorn or beating Carlton?
Carlton.
Carlton or Collingwood?
Collingwood.
Opposition player you'd love to come play with you at Essendon?
Scott Pendlebury.
Bench press or squat rack?
Bench press.
Big time.
Which teammate spends the most time in the gym looking at themselves in the mirror?
Matt Guelphy.
No surprises there. Yeah. Most talented player at Essendon, and you can say yourself.
Zach Marriott.
Best jokes at the club?
James Stewart.
Worst jokes at the club?
Nick Hind.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Tip for the Brownlow in 2023, and you can again say yourself.
Yeah, besides myself. Rapid fire. Lockie Neal.
How many Brownlow votes are you going to get this year?
Oh, tough one. Probably
30s.
I don't know, yeah, probably high 30s. Yeah,
high
I'd probably go for the record.
Yeah.
Pretty stiff not to win it. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I know.
Yeah, if you
Mind the umpires, I'm here.
if you get high 30s and Lockie Neal beats you, I feel like that's pretty hard done.
Yeah,
by.
hats off to
Yeah,
it.
you just got to concede on that, I
Yeah,
think.
that might be the suspension halfway through the year, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully not that. Any more from you, Merty?
Nah, I think that's it, mate.
Nick, absolutely fantastic to have you on the Sash, and hopefully we'll get you back on again, but you're officially our man here on the show, and thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Liquorland are proud partners of the Sash for another season of footy. Footy is back, and Liquorland have all your drinks for when the siren calls. Liquorland, from the land you love. Please drink responsibly. Thanks for listening.